Alright, bitches, so we are here for the first fucking real episode of Dragon Ball Super. Now the shit is starting. Now we're fucking in there. Are you fucking ready? Yes, episode 47 of Dragon Ball Super, where shit is getting started. This one is called SOS from the Future. Now, the second part, I've seen this two ways. I've seen it said as SOS from the future, a new black enemy appears. I've also seen it as SOS from the future, a new enemy, Black, appears. And, you know, the villain, his name is Black, or, you know, there's a first part. It's, you know, blank and then Black. We'll get to that in a second, though. Alright, so this episode picks up. We see Future Trunks running around, hiding in a destroyed city, and we see this mysterious, shadowy monster, you know, shooting energy blasts all over, destroying things. Now, I will say, the villain here is being kept in shadow enough to where I would almost say this is vaguely reminiscent of the way the androids were first being described. I gotta imagine this is a little bit of a callback to that, because obviously we've got Future Trunks back here. So what happens is Future Trunks kind of finds his way to some, like, this building. And in it we see Future Bulma, you know, the old version of Bulma here. And it looks like she's working on the same sort of machine that we actually saw a few episodes prior. Now, I didn't get too deep in depth into this a couple episodes ago because I didn't think it was, you know, that important to the story. But basically what it looks like Bulma's doing with this machine is she's creating fuel for the time machine. Now, we saw present Bulma doing this. This was the experiment that she had Monica come help her with. And, like, she did this big, long thing, and there was only, like, this small blue drop. And she's like, oh, only that much, huh? And it looks like present Bulma has started working on, like, creating the same sort of time machine. And then we see future Bulma have, you know, doing the same thing with a different machine because she's obviously in this dark future or whatever. And she does have a good amount, although when Future Trunks walks in, he's a little, I guess disappointed might be a word, or surprised, because the amount of energy or fuel here that he says it was made after 1 year is only enough for a one-way trip for him, which, you know, he's not really that, you know, happy about. And Future Bulma says that she bets he'll be able to find a way back. Now, because we saw present Bulma working on the same thing, we do know that he'll be able to get fuel in the present time, so there's no worries there. Now, as Future Trunks and Future Bulma go to leave, there's a big explosion, completely destroying all of Bulma's equipment, and, like, the roof caves in. And Bulma quickly hands over this container, I guess a fuel container, to Trunks. And it's got, like, this nice protective shell on it, so obviously it won't be destroyed too easily. She gives that to Trunks and tells Trunks to go. Then we see the shadow just appears and grabs Bulma. And you could see the hand. Like, the hand is looking normal, as, you know, like a human or a Saiyan or whatever, holding on to Bulma. But the rest of the being is covered in smoke. And, it creates, I'll just call it Black, because, you know, Black is his name anyway, but Black creates an energy ball that explodes kind of the whole place, and then it, you know, it zooms in, and you see Bulma basically get disintegrated, and it's like, oh god, like, we are getting dark real quick. Shit, no more of this clowning around buffoonery nonsense. Now we're getting real into it. And Trunks, it looks like, is able to run quickly and escape, and he declares that he'll save the world no matter what. And, you know, the camera zooms out and you see the huge explosion. So obviously this being Black is very, very powerful. Then it cuts, very surprisingly and very disappointed for me as I'm watching this episode, but it cuts back to present time, and we see Goku has a new vegetable garden. And, like, he's picking all the vegetables with Chi-Chi, Goten, Piccolo. Goku kind of talks about how, you know, he did this training, you know, when he was younger with Krillin and Master Roshi, and they show us flashes of that. It really does look like Dragon Ball Super. As it's going along, they are trying to piece together the whole story for people who haven't watched all the series. Because, I mean, I'm sure there's a number of Japanese kids over there who might not be too familiar with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and they're just watching Dragon Ball Super. And they're giving us so many flashes, so many callbacks to prior events. But Piccolo and Goku are basically going to look at this as similar training to what Goku and Krillin did with Master Roshi. So they begin doing that. And of course, like, this is hilarious. Krillin flies up and he's like, "Boy, Goku, I can't believe you're here since Vegeta went off to go train with Whis." And Goku just stops. You see Goku completely just stops moving, and he just puts his hand up to his head like to do the instant transmission, obviously searching for Vegeta's energy. And then it cuts over to Beerus's planet, and we see Vegeta is training with Whis, and he can't hit him at all. So Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan Blue, which is, a robust enough power that Goku is able to sense Vegeta on Beerus's planet, even though it's a bajillion zillion miles away. So, this is cool that if someone is really powering up hard, Goku is able to travel even that distance. And so he instant transmissions to Beerus's planet, and Chi-Chi chews out, Krillin for that. Goku arrives, and he's holding a fresh lettuce and gives that to Beerus as a gift. And, Beerus eats it and whatever, all smiles and happy. But then it cuts back to the fucking future timeline. And we see future Trunks arrive at a building, and he meets up with what appears to be future Mai. Now, this is interesting because, Mai is a character who's been around since episode, I believe Mai, Pilaf, and Shu. Actually, you know what? They were in episode 1 of Dragon Ball, now that I think about it. So, Mai is a character who's been around since the very beginning. I just wish they would address her age change, because here, Mai looks to be about the same age as future Trunks, which makes sense because we saw young Trunks and then young Mai with Pilaf and Shu. And remember, Mai and Trunks, Trunks was teasing and they were talking about dating and whatever. And you definitely can feel that in this scene here with future Trunks and Mai. Now, Trunks tells Mai what happened, that future Bulma was killed. And he says that Black is now able to sense his energy. So this is interesting. So I think, this could be referring to the fact that, sensing energy might be a new ability for Black. I guess we'll see. I mean, we haven't really seen much of Black at all right now. So then it cuts back up to Beerus's planet. And real quick, Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis, they're eating ramen, and they discuss the Omni King, Zeno-sama. And basically, Goku and Vegeta are kind of like, how strong is he? Is he really the strongest? And Whis mentions how that's a bad habit of Saiyans, that's always the first thing that they try and tell is the strongest. But Beerus and Whis explain to Goku and Vegeta that the Omni King can destroy anything in an instant if he so chooses. So that's why, everyone is so nervous around him. And, Goku was shaking his hand and shit, and everyone was losing their fucking shit. Because the Omni King can destroy anything in an instant. In an instant. People, planets, galaxies, universes. And Whis explains that there used to be 18 universes, not 12. But the Omni King had a bad day, and so 6 were destroyed instantly. And it's like, wow, okay, so this guy, that's interesting. And they do mention, too, how no one is above him. He is the top of the pyramid. Although, this is the 5th time we've been introduced to a person supposedly at the top of the pyramid in the Dragon Ball canon. Alright, so then it goes back to the future, and we see future Trunks and Mai. They're sort of resting. Mai says she got a great surprise, and it's just a small little can of, meat. Almost like a tuna can or something. And it's like, wow, okay, so shit has gotten this bad. This appears to be even worse than when the androids were around. And we see Dr. Brief's cat is there. So I guess clearly, Trunks' grandfather is dead at this point. That's a pretty safe assumption. And future Mai and future Trunks, they head over to the Capsule Corp after Trunks kind of reminisces about the events of the Perfect Cell saga and the Cell Game saga, confirming that this is indeed the exact same Trunks from earlier in Dragon Ball Z. Now, I do have to say real quick, this is a great idea. Like, they wanted to come to try and, like, get respect, you know, like, oh, we're gonna do a new series of Dragon Ball, you know, whatever. Okay, so they're making a new series of Dragon Ball. Bringing future Trunks back in, hopefully for a good reason, we'll see. But bringing future Trunks back in, I think, is a smart, safe move, because future Trunks is pretty much universally beloved. And I know many people, myself included, think that the, you know, Trunks' arrival until Trunks leaving and Cell being defeated is probably the highlight of the entire series. So, you know, having him back is a true pleasure. So future Trunks and Mai, they go to Capsule Corp. Now, I assume, obviously, all I could do is assume at this point, I don't know, that the time machine must be somewhere in Capsule Corp, and that's why they're going there. And Trunks got the fuel from Bulma, so he'll be able to take off once they get there. Now, once Mai and Trunks arrive, Mai asks Trunks if he can sense black, and he says no. So they prepare to get into Capsule Corp. Like, they're about to walk in, and Trunks stops, and he can feel it, and he looks up, and the sky opens up, and we see, you know, fucking whatever it is, it's here. We see the shadow. Now, Trunks charges this black, and, you know, he does, like, a sword slash, and it creates, like, an energy attack, kind of, like a neat little thing. And, you know, he gets easily brushed back. And Mai runs up to Trunks, shoves the fuel in his hand, and says that she'll be the decoy. You know, she'll ensure that Trunks survives. So she runs up with her shotty, like a little pump-action shotgun, shooting it at Black, who easily does a couple dodges, then shoots an energy blast right at her, and you see a huge explosion, and she gets knocked back, and, I mean, it's pretty clear that she's now dead, so everyone is dying here. And Trunks runs over, and, you know, is, oh, damn, she's dead, and, you know, you Kisama, you bastard. He looks up, and we see Black land, and then, you know, the smoke clears, and it does the slow camera pan, and you see that it's, you know, Goku, but with, you know, the dark outfit. So this is the new villain introduced, Goku Black, and he says, you know, finally, today is the day that you take your last breath, Saiyan. And then the episode ends. Oh, boy! Goku Black. Now, this is a villain right here, okay? An evil version of Goku and future Trunks back? Yes. Now you have my full fucking attention. Also, I gotta say, that music track that plays when Goku Black is revealed is fucking dope as hell. Very, very, very excited for this. Now, in the preview for the next episode, it looks like Trunks is going to reach the present time. And, you know, we hear from the voiceover, Goku saying, okay, me and Vegeta will go take care of him. So, I mean, very quick. This is faster than I thought. Very quickly, it looks like Goku and Vegeta are going to be fighting Goku Black. I didn't think, you know, an episode into him being there, they were going to fight. But we'll see how it goes down.